Happy learning.
Hi, welcome to our Pharma Topics channel. Welcome to the seventh series of clinical research and pharmacovigilance. In this video, we are going to see about clinical trial documentation. Uh, Clinical trial documentation involves the preparation of the protocol, investigators' brochure, case report forms, and the safety monitoring in clinical trials. First is clinical trial protocol. A clinical trial protocol is a comprehensive document that serves as a detailed plan or roadmap for conducting a clinical trial. It outlines the objectives, design, methodology, procedures, and guidelines for the study, as well as the roles and responsibilities of various stakeholders involved in the trial. The clinical trial protocol is a crucial tool that ensures consistency, transparency, and ethical conduct throughout the study. Preparation of clinical trial protocol. First is title and identification. The title of the trial along with the unique identification number is must. Next is background and rationale. A brief overview of the medical or scientific context that justifies the need for the trial has to be there. Then study objectives. It should have clear and specific statements of the primary and secondary objectives of the trial. Then study design. It should have a description of the trial design, including whether it is a randomized control trial, observational study, or other study designs. Then study population. It should have data about the eligibility criteria for the participant inclusion and exclusion, including demographics, medical history, and other relevant characteristics. Then interventions and procedures. It should have a detailed information about the interventions, treatments, procedures, and assessments involved in the trial. Then outcome measures. It should have a specification of primary and secondary endpoints that will be measured to assess the effectiveness and safety of the interventions. Then sample size and statistical analysis. It should have data about the calculation of the required number of participants along with the statistical methods that will be used for data analysis. Then randomization and blinding. Explanation of how randomization will be done, if applicable, will be implemented, and whether blinding or masking will be used. Then data collection and management. It should have a description of how data will be collected, recorded, and managed, including use of case report forms and electronic data capture systems. Then participant survey and monitoring. It should have the plans for participant safety, including adverse event reporting, safety assessments, and monitoring procedures. Then ethical consideration. It should have the details on how the trial will adhere to the ethical principles, including obtaining informed consent, protecting participant rights, and managing the conflicts of interest. Then regulatory compliance. It should have an explanation of how the trial will comply with the local and international regulations and guidelines. Then study timeline and milestones. It should have an estimated start and end date for the trial, as well as the timelines for various study activities. Then roles and responsibilities. There should be a clear delineation of the responsibilities of the principal investigator, study staff, sponsor, ethics committee, and other relevant parties. Then publication and reporting. It should have a plan for disseminating the study results, including publication and reporting of findings. What is the importance of the clinical trial document? A well-designed and thorough clinical trial protocol is essential for maintaining the integrity and quality of the trial. It guides the entire research process, helps ensure participant safety, minimizes bias, and facilitates the consistent implementation of the study procedures across different sites. The protocol must be reviewed and approved by the ethics committee or institutional review boards before the trial begins. Let us see what is investigator's brochure. A investigator's brochure is a comprehensive document that provides essential information about the investigational product, such as a drug, biologic, or medical device being studied in a clinical trial. The investigator brochure is primarily intended for the investigators, study site personnel, and regulatory authorities to ensure that they have a thorough understanding of the investigational product's properties, characteristics, safety profile, and usage guidelines. Let us see the preparation of investigators brochure. It should have a description of the investigational product, including its composition, formulation, and physical characteristics. Then pharmacology. Then IB should have an information about the mechanism of action of the product, its intended effects, and how it interacts with the body. Then pharmacokinetics data. It should have details about how the product is absorbed, distributed, metabolized, or eliminated from the and how it is eliminated from the body. Then pharmacodynamics. It should have information about the physiological effects of the product on the body, including its impact on biomarkers or other indicators. Then safety information. The investigator's brochure should have a detailed overview of the product's safety profile, including known and potential adverse effects, precautions, warnings, contraindications, and adverse event management. Then dosage and administration. The IB should have guidelines for how the investigational product should be administered, including dosage, route of administration, and frequency. Then preclinical data. It should have a summary of preclinical studies that were conducted to assess the product safety and effectiveness in laboratory settings or in animals. Then clinical experience. It should have information about previous clinical trials involving the investigational product, if applicable, including data from earlier phases of clinical development. Then regulatory information. It should have details about the product's regulatory status, including any previous approvals or ongoing regulatory submissions. Then study specific information. It should have any study specific considerations or guidelines related to the use of investigational product in the current trial. Then references and citations. It should have citations to relevant scientific literature, studies, and sources of information. Then case report form. What is case report form? CRF. A case report form is a standardized document used in clinical trials to collect and record data for each participant enrolled in the study. The CRF serves as a structured template for capturing relevant information about the participants' medical history, treatment, assessments, outcomes, and other study related details. It is an essential tool for ensuring consistent and accurate data collection across the different study sites and over the course of the trial. Let us see the preparation of CRF. It is basically a structured format. CRFs are designed with predefined fields, checkboxes, and spaces for entering the specific information. This structure ensures that the data are collected consistently and in standardized manner. Then it should have the details about participant information. CRF includes the demographic details about the participant, such as age, gender, medical history, and baseline characteristics. Study visit data. For each scheduled study visit, the CRF provides sections for recording the various assessments, tests, and procedures and interventions performed during the visit. Usually, the CRFs are handled by the clinical research associates. Then adverse events. The CRF should contain the details about the farm, which includes sections of capturing adverse events, including details about the events, its severity, relationship to the study drug or intervention, and any actions taken. Then concomitant medications. It should have details about the participants' use of other medications or treatments which to be documented, including name, dosage, frequency, and duration of concomitant therapies. Then study drug administration. It should have details about the administration of the investigational product, including dosing, route of administration, and any deviations from the protocol. Then outcome measures. CRFs contain the fields for recording outcomes or endpoints relevant to the study, such as laboratory results, clinical assessments, and patient reported outcomes. Then date and time stamps. In some cases, CRF includes spaces for recording the date and time when specific procedures or assessments were performed. Signatures and attestations. CRF may include spaces for signatures of the investigator, study personnel, and participants to acknowledge data accuracy and consent. Then data validation. Some CRFs include a built-in data validation checks to reduce errors, such as ensuring that entered values fall within the predefined ranges. Then data management. Completed CRFs are collected and used as a primary source of the data for analysis. They are stored securely and managed as a part of trials data management process. Importance of CRF. CRFs are typically designed by the sponsor, study sponsor, or contract research organization in collaboration with the study's principal investigator and the study team. They are customized to match the specific requirements of the study protocol, endpoints, and assessments. The use of standardized CRFs helps ensure data quality, integrity, and comparability, allowing for accurate analysis and interpretation of study results. What is safety monitoring in clinical trials? Safety monitoring in clinical trial refers to the systematic and ongoing process of assessing and ensuring the safety of the study participants who are receiving the investigational products, such as drugs, biologics, or medical devices, as a part of the trial. The primary goal of safety monitoring is to detect, evaluate, and manage any adverse events, side effects, or other safety concerns that may arise during the course of the study. Investigators and the study site personnel are responsible for promptly identifying, documenting, and reporting any adverse events experienced by the participants. An adverse event is an undesirable medical occurrence that happens during the trial, whether or not it is related to the investigational product. So the safety monitoring includes symptoms, signs, abnormal laboratory findings, and clinical complications which occur during the AE or adverse event reporting. Then serious adverse event reporting. In addition to regular adverse events, any serious adverse event that occur during the trial must be reported to the sponsor and regulatory authorities within the specified time frames. SAEs are events that result in death, life-threatening situations, hospitalization, or prolonged hospitalization, disability, congenital anomalies, or any other medically significant events. Safety monitoring in clinical trials. First is safety assessment. The investigators and study personnel continuously monitor the participants for safety throughout the trial. This may involve regular clinical assessments, laboratory tests, physical examination, and other evaluations to detect any changes in the health status or adverse effects. Safety data review. Sponsors and safety monitoring committees review the safety data collected during the trial to identify the trends, patterns, and potential safety concerns. These reviews help inform decisions about the continuation, modification, or termination of the trial. Then benefit risk assessment. Safety monitoring involves ongoing assessment of a balance between the potential benefits of the investigational product and its potential risks. If safety concerns emerge that may outweigh the benefits, the trial may be modified or terminated. Safety reporting. Safety data are reported to the regulatory authorities, ethics committees, and institutional review boards in compliance with the regulations. Reports include information about adverse events, serious adverse events, and safety related decisions. Then data and safety monitoring board. For some trials, an independent data and safety monitoring board is established. The Data Safety Monitoring Board reviews interim safety and efficacy data to provide unbiased recommendations regarding the continuation, modification, or termination of the trial. Safety management plans. Clinical trial protocols often include a safety management plan that outlines the procedures for safety monitoring, adverse event reporting, participant management, and actions to be taken in case of safety concerns. So the safety monitoring is a critical aspect of clinical research to protect the well-being of the participants and to ensure the integrity of the trial data. It requires effective communication among the investigators, sponsors, ethics committees, regulatory authorities, and other relevant stakeholders to promptly identify and address any safety issues that may arise during the course of the trial. So it's a very short information of the clinical trial documentation, which involves the guidelines to prepare the documents such as the protocol, investigators brochure, case report forms, and safety monitoring in clinical trials. I hope it will be useful for you. Thank you for listening. Happy learning. Kindly share this to more of your friends. If you like this video, kindly press the like button. Kindly go through all the series of videos which are available in the playlist Clinical Research and Pharmacovigilance in the Pharma Topics channel, and score well in the forthcoming exams. Thank you.